Are your hamstrings holding you back? Because this is the thing about hamstrings. Again, it's another huge muscle, and it contributes to the strength of our metabolism. It holds our hips and pelvis stable, which helps our back to avoid back pain. And two, since it also does that, then the third thing it does is it helps prevent knee pain. When we are able to use our hamstrings appropriately and when they were really strong and we know how to stabilize on them. So hamstring ball curls are another exercise that I use with beginners, because a lot of times a hamstring machine that you lay down on or you sit on, sometimes they're very hard for beginners who have never really used their hamstrings before. So then they go to a gym and they start using a hamstring curl machine, especially the type that you lay down on, and they come to find out that they've been using their back the whole time. They end up using their low back, okay, to use the machine. And their hamstrings then again aren't strong. But training hamstrings in an isolation machine like a hamstring curl machine sometimes doesn't really help the hamstring do the job that it's supposed to do, because again, muscles don't necessarily work in isolation. They have to work with the whole body, especially when we are holding our stack correctly, or how we're holding our pelvis, okay, to our rib cage. And you're going to hear me say this a lot. I talk a lot about how we have to be able to stabilize and use our zone of apposition appropriately. Okay, that's the central area of our core. And so when we are constantly in this forward extended tilt, okay, that my hip flexors are pushed forward and my lower back is holding this compressive load all the time, then our hamstrings tend to fall asleep. So being able to get good connection with hamstrings and being able to hold the rest of our body stable while we are doing a hamstring ball curl can strengthen hamstrings in a very productive way instead of a maladaptive way. So for your hamstring ball curl, you're going to again lay on your back. You're going to put your feet up on the ball. Again, you're going to do your sigh. You're going to exhale, and you're going to push your rib cage or tilt it down towards your pelvis. When you're here, this is very similar to when we were doing the 90-90 glute bridge, except our feet are not pressed up against a wall, okay? Our feet are on the ball. When we're here, then we want to slowly tilt up, slowly, okay? Come up just enough that now you feel the back of your hamstrings. Okay, when you feel the back of your hamstrings, extend the ball out. Try not to drop your hips or drop your pelvis, okay? And then as you pull back, you're gonna pull back and then tilt your pelvis up slightly. A lot of times we see videos that do this up here, okay? And while that can work the hamstring, this is, in my opinion, very similar. When I push my hips up that high, this is very similar to this position standing, where I am now extended again and my hips are pushed forward. Okay, so we don't want this forward hip position, okay, even when we're laying flat on our back. So when we do the prone hamstring curl, okay, when we're lying, when we're doing our hamstring curl here, okay, then we're going to pull in, okay, push out. As we pull in, now we're going to tilt up a little bit, okay, feel that back part of your legs, extend out, have your body being held by the back part of your legs, come back in, feel the back part of your legs, your hamstrings, and go back out. All the time, you want to make sure that you're keeping this zone of apposition connected, not letting it go out and then falling apart on some part of the rep. So hamstring ball curls can be very helpful. One other noted mistake, okay, is when we bring hamstrings in, people's knees tend to fall to the outside. Try to keep a neutral position, okay, that your knee is in line with your hip, in line with your big toe, okay? And then you're gonna go in and back out, okay? They are hard when done correctly. So when you're doing them, don't get discouraged if you can only get 3 reps in, okay? Do your 3 reps, focus on form. It's important to note that even when form is incorrect, our body learns it incorrect. So if you notice that you did something, then you're like, oh, I didn't keep my hips or pelvis stable. Stop, come back down, reset, do it again, okay? And focus on all of those little nuances, because you will be very grateful, because you're going to be able to access a larger part of the hamstring when you focus on the nuances. When you're not in a correct alignment, a lot of times we're using just the bottom part of the hamstring. You want to feel the whole hamstring up to the top. So your hamstring ball curls, again, very essential. I suggest doing these before moving on to a machine hamstring curl, because you're going to be able to focus more on your pelvis positioning. And then when you get really good at these, yes, then move on to a hamstring curl machine. So 3 sets, I would say try to get up to 3 sets of 12 to 15 of these reps. And then, yes, focus on how much muscle you are going to build in your posterior chain, the whole backside of you, when you learn to use your hamstrings and glutes effectively.